Well, that's the big bet that European policymakers are placing on the table here. Their hope is if the Cypriot parliament passes this bill, the contagion is limited to Cyprus and we get over it in a few days. Right now, we're not seeing deposit flight in other peripheral countries. And in the U.S., while futures are down, Friday, everybody was telling you and me and the other people here we were due for a correction anyway in the market. So how do you unpack that? At the moment, hard to tell what the long-term effect is. But we can look at the bond markets, and you would expect the peripherals to be hit hard. They're not being. And one reason, of course, they didn't go after the sovereigns in Cyprus as they did in Greece and other countries. But for right now, just a very limited reaction there.
Well, why didn't they go after the bondholders?
Well, for a couple reasons. One, Cyprus has very few sovereign bonds, only about $2 billion worth. And two, most of those are under UK law. And if you remember the Greek restructuring, the Greek default, that means that bondholders can sue. They didn't want to drag this out. That meant that they needed to find the money somewhere because, as Sarah said, it's a very large banking system. They needed about 17 billion euros worth of rescue for an 18 billion euro economy. Well, where do you get that kind of money? Bank's about the only place left. But as she said, it's a very unbalanced system. You look at the deposits there, an enormous amount from elsewhere, a lot of money coming in from Russia. People look at Cyprus as a money laundering center. So they wanted to go after some of those deposits. They wanted to tax those deposits. They're a little bit afraid, apparently, that Russia would get upset by just targeting those deposits, so they broadened this out. There was also a feeling that if they didn't tax the out-of-state deposits too much, then Russia would roll over some of their loans at lower rates. So the feeling is spread out the pain, which is why they went after the depositors. They also point out, you know what happened in Greece and Ireland and other places? People really suffered there. So just taking a little bit of tax off of people in Cyprus, you know, it's kind of pain that other people have endured.